I'm divorcing a useless woman who doesn't take care of child. And alimony too. Pay me 100,000.
My husband laughs as he crosses his arms. How much more can he make fun of me? I admit. Here are the divorce papers. My husband's eyes went wide as I held out the divorce papers to him. Mind you, I'm the one in a better position than you. My name is Scarlett, a 40-year-old housewife. My husband Tyler and I have been married for exactly 10 years. Normally, we would be celebrating our 10th anniversary, but we are not in that mood at all. It all started when I had an accident 3 years ago that left me in a wheelchair.
Scarlett, are you okay?
Oh, Tyler. You came.
I heard you were in an accident, so I rushed over. Your life was saved, wasn't it?
Yes, but my leg is permanently damaged. I'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
Oh, no.
I was driving to work when an oncoming car ran into me and I was involved in a collision. Although I survived, I was unable to walk for the rest of my life. Of course, I was covered by insurance and workers' compensation, so I don't have to worry about money. I had a second job and had saved a lot of money since I was single, so I did not have to worry about the financial aspect of my life. But I was still very anxious about becoming disabled. I would probably cause my husband a lot of trouble in the future. I'm sorry that it turned out like this.
No, it wasn't your fault. It was just bad luck that you had an accident. I'll support you from now on.
Thank you, Tyler. I was very happy to hear my husband say these things. After that, my husband moved us to a rental apartment with barrier-free access and gave me a room on the first floor so that I could live comfortably. This made it easier for me to move around the house in my wheelchair and do household chores. My husband also came home on time and took care of me as much as he could. I was very grateful to him. However, after about 6 months in the wheelchair, my husband's attitude gradually became colder and colder. I'm sorry, Tyler. I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused you. My husband began to show an overtly troublesome mood on his face. He didn't think it would be this hard to take care of me. I was really sorry about that. I made the following suggestion to him as such situation continued too long. I can call a helper for the night if Tyler is willing. Then you can focus on himself without worrying, right? I said, and my husband immediately took me up on the suggestion.
Please do that. Frankly, it's hard to be a caregiver when I'm tired from work.
I know. I was a little sad when my husband said that honestly. I was disappointed that my husband had told me that he would support me when I had my accident and that he would not do what he said he would do. Well, I guess he didn't think it would be this hard at the time, and when he actually did it, it was beyond his capacity. So I thought hiring helpers more often would solve the problem. But as soon as he didn't have to take care of me at all, my husband became even colder toward me.
Hey, even though you live in a wheelchair, you can cook as you are in barrier-free space, right? You can cook better than that.
I'm sorry. I forgot to tell the helper about the ingredients I wanted her to buy. And that's why I couldn't cook what I wanted to cook.
So what? That's just an excuse, right?
Well,
I don't discriminate against you because you live in a wheelchair or because you are physically disabled. I'm talking to you like you're a normal person. You can't go to work anymore, so you're a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, no. My husband's words were very harsh. Why did he say such terrible things? If I could go to work, I would. If I could go shopping, I would go shopping myself. My husband knows that I can't do that, so why does he say things like that to drive me away? I was very shocked at that time. I felt my love for my husband slowly cooling. I also had a gut feeling that if I didn't do something about it, he would probably leave me. Then I decided to put a lot of effort into my side business. I also decided to start investing using my savings from when I was single. Fortunately, I am home all the time, so I have lots of time. I made it my goal to prove that I could live independently even in my wheelchair by studying stocks, money, and the amount of work I did on the side, all of which would lead to income. Thanks to my earnest efforts in this way, I gradually started to see results. By the time a year had passed, I was earning $100,000 a year. I became very confident that I could do it if I tried. I could do my best even without my husband. However, I was not thinking about divorce at that time, even though he had started behaving badly toward me, and we had been in love and had been married for 9 years. After being married for such a long time, I was hesitant about leaving him. There had been many things that had happened during our marriage, and I had many happy memories. Maybe my husband just didn't think that my being in a wheelchair would put him in such a difficult situation mentally. Maybe he just said terrible things to me because he didn't have mental space. If that was the case, our relationship might still be able to improve. I thought so, but it seemed I was the only one who thought so. My husband came home later and later. Just like it didn't matter if I was in wheelchair life, he came home at 2 a.m. or so more and more often. "Good morning. You were late again yesterday, weren't you?"
That's because I'm working.
"But coming home at 2 a.m. isn't work, is it?"
Huh? I meant that going out for a drink like that is also part of the job. You have to read the context.
My husband always gets annoyed when I talk to him. He seems to say that he doesn't want anything more to do with me. I thought I might not make it. Just when I thought that was the case, my husband took further actions that I never expected. One day, my husband unusually came home in the evening. The helper was still there, so she went to the front door for him. But I heard a voice that I could not have predicted. It was the voice of a baby. As I looked at the front door in wonder, the helper came to me with a puzzled look on her face.
"Oh, your husband asked me to leave because he has something important to discuss with you. Is it okay?"
What? Then my husband came into the living room holding the baby, and next to him is a strange young woman. She is wearing fancy makeup but still looks young. Well, let's see. At first I thought it was not a good story, and I told my helper to leave me here. The helper, puzzled, took her own bag and left with her head down. After seeing her off, I returned to the living room. So, there's a lot on my mind. Who the hell is the baby and the woman? I asked my husband, and he said, without a hint of offense,
She's my girlfriend, Victoria, and this baby is ours.
What? I could not believe my ears. My husband had been having an affair and had even fathered a child. The reason he had been late was because he had been with his pregnant girlfriend. It was so sudden that I could not catch up with my understanding. I'm sorry, this is so sudden and confusing. But how old is Victoria? You look so young. Then the woman with whom he was having an affair made a surprising statement.
I am 18 years old.
What? 18? Her husband's lover was 18 years old and had just graduated from high school. Well, where did you meet my husband?
The cabaret club where I work.
What? Cabaret club? Apparently, my husband was going to the cabaret club instead of taking care of me, and he had an affair with an 18-year-old girl and even got her pregnant. I can't believe it. You were cheating on me.
Because I don't even think I want to do it with you anymore. I'd rather have a younger, prettier one.
So, you want to be with that girl?
Yet of course I want to marry her again. And you'll raise her instead of her.
What? What are you talking about?
Because you're gonna be home all day, aren't you? Victoria is still a teenager. She's got a lot of things she wants to do. She doesn't want to spend all her time raising baby. So you raise baby instead.
I don't understand. What are these people saying? I don't want to do that. I'm not even related to baby, and you are the adulterer in the first place. Remember, why should I raise an adulterer's child?
What the hell? I can't use them. I'm divorcing a useless woman who doesn't take care of child. And alimony too. Pay me 100,000.
My husband laughs as he crosses his arms. How much more can he make fun of me? I admit. Here are the divorce papers. My husband's eyes went wide as I held out the divorce papers to him.
When did you prepare the divorce papers?
I have been debating over and over whether to divorce you or stay married to you. That's why I had the divorce papers ready.
What? You're the one who was thinking about getting a divorce?
Mind you, I'm the one in a better position than you.
What are you talking about? You can't work, and you can't live without me. By all means, I'm in a better position than you.
If that's what you think, that's what you think. But I'm not raising your kid, and I'm not paying you 100,000 in alimony. I'd rather have you guys pay me for the affair.
Oh my God, I can't do that. I can't pay alimony.
Don't worry, I'll pay it. But if you insist on alimony, there will be no division of property. If you agree to those terms, I'll pay you alimony.
My husband looked proud of himself as he said this. I am sure he thinks that if I don't get my share of the property, I won't be able to survive. And he must think that I will withdraw my demand for alimony, but I have enough income. and there is no need to withdraw. Yes, you can keep your share of the property.
What?
So I'll demand alimony with no property division.
Are you serious? You're not gonna be able to live with yourself after the divorce, are you?
You don't have to worry about that. Anyway, I can't forgive you guys. I'm going to have to pay you alimony.
Huh? I don't care if you regret it.
After saying that, my husband left with the adulterer. I then rented a new room, packed my belongings, and moved out. The room I am in now was originally rented by my husband, so he asked me to leave before they returned. I decided to buy a higher grade apartment than I live now. My income had gone up considerably, and I had saved a lot of money. I then hired a lawyer and divorced my husband and filed for alimony. My husband and the adulterous partner each paid me $30,000. My ex-husband said, "I don't care if you really regret it, but that was my line. I'm telling you, I make $200,000 a year, okay?"
What? What are you talking about? I don't believe that lie. Don't be so tough and say weird things.
My ex-husband snickered at me like that. I showed him the bank book. Can you say that even if you see this? The bank book I showed him had transfers in digits my husband had never seen before.
Oh, my God. How come you're making so much money?
I was trying so hard to be independent because I thought you might leave me. I'm glad I was prepared for that, because as I expected, you divorced me.
Oh, no.
My ex-husband was absolutely mortified when he found out that I was making considerably more money. than he was. I told you, I'm in a better position than you. My ex-husband was pale and drooping. Then came a further tragedy for my ex-husband. My helper, who is actually working as a helper to gain social experience, and her father runs a company. And that company was the one where my ex-husband works. I had become friends with the helper and we had talked a lot. So she knew that my ex-husband worked for her father's company. In that situation, she found out the circumstances of this incident. So she thought it was unacceptable that such a person was working for her father's company and reported it to her father. As a result, my ex-husband was fired and lost his job. The ex-husband had just paid $60,000 in alimony for the adulterer and himself, so he had no savings. He was unemployed and the affair partner said it was impossible and dumped him. Incidentally, the adulterer returned to her parents' house to work as a single mother while relying on her parents to raise her child. She was scolded severely by her parents, and she has since changed her mind. She sent me an email apologizing, saying that she realized how immature she was at that time. She had gotten my email address before she left my ex-husband. Well, she is only 18 years old, so she can't help making a lot of wrong decisions. I hope she has changed her mind and is giving her love to her child. By the way, my ex-husband was disowned by his parents because of this incident, and since he can no longer pay the rent, he has moved to a shabby apartment and is living part-time. He is now in his 40s, so I don't think he will be able to find a new job. He will probably lead a lonely life for the rest of her life. On the other hand, I am steadily increasing my income and have accumulated enough assets that I don't have to worry about my retirement anymore. From now on, I will try new things and enrich my life.